Welcome to my first nursing school Q&A video. Hey everyone, my name is Kristen and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm currently in my fourth and final semester of nursing school. I have 2 months and 16 days left, but who is counting? I want the focus of this video today to be my very first Q&A video while I'm in nursing school. So if you are interested in this kind of content, just go ahead and keep watching. This first question, I actually do get this question more often than I thought I would, and that is, what is my background in? Well, if you would have watched my test anxiety video that I just posted last week, you would have seen in that video that I originally was pre-med. I did graduate in 2017 with my bachelor's in biomedical sciences, thinking I wanted to continue on going into med school. I researched all the different schools and took some time off to really figure out how I could prepare and study for the MCAT. Well, while I was taking this time off, I found a transitional master's degree program, and the degree that I got in this program is a master's in bioethics, and I decided to do a concentration in research ethics. So technically, my degree is actually a terminal degree. I could get a job with an IRB committee at a school or an institution, but I did decide that I still want that hands-on care, and actually in this program is where I fell in love with nursing. I got the opportunity to shadow in the NICU quite a few times. I followed around different social workers, the ethicists, and I came to love the job of what a nurse ethicist does in the NICU. And I just love the idea of being able to provide care to my patients and being that person by the bedside. And I'm hoping one day I can bridge the gap between my two degrees and, work towards that goal of becoming a nurse ethicist, but I will need a lot of experience in the bioethics realm before I can do that. So if y'all continue to watch my videos throughout my job journey, just know that that is something that I am ultimately working towards. This next question I get at least once a day, and that is, do I sell my notes? Currently, I am not selling my notes. There are a few reasons why, and I figured I would go ahead and just throw this question in there. So hopefully this reaches multiple people, and that is because my notes are specific to my program. I've noticed that talking with students, different classes have different content, and although our nursing schools relatively teach the same content, you might not learn the content that I learned in a specific class until a different course. And so because of that, I feel like if I were to sell my study guides, it wouldn't be really beneficial to y'all if you have to go through and dig through my study guides. And what if my study guide doesn't even have the information you need? My professors have taken out information I don't need to know. So for me, I just feel like it's not beneficial to sell my study guides, and I would hate to be that kind of person who's just on YouTube to make money like that. That was never my intention. My intention was to start a YouTube channel to share my tips and tricks throughout nursing school, and obviously I'm gonna continue this throughout my nursing journey. I wasn't originally planning on doing that. However, I am thinking about doing like cheat sheets or things in that realm specifically to each health condition. I feel like that would probably be a little bit more beneficial, so then I can make sure that all the relevant information you need to know for your classes and NCLEX are on those cheat sheets. So if you like that idea, let me know down in the comment section, because I feel like if I'm gonna put the work in, I would like to know if people would be interested in getting something like that. But to just continue answering this question, I know another reason is copyright issues. Specifically with my school, everything's copyrighted, so I can't really sell stuff that comes specifically from my school. So everything that I have in my study guide would need to make sure that it is in my own words. And also, how do I make sure that people don't get a hold of my notes and then just give them to their friends for free? So I feel like there's so many issues when it comes around selling my notes that I feel like me creating something new that doesn't have to do with my school might be a little bit more beneficial than just selling my notes. Now, another thing too, I really think it's always beneficial if students create their own notes. This is only helpful in the long run for students because you can make your notes your own, and I would hate people purchasing my notes if they didn't like the layout or they didn't like what was in it. So yeah, this topic has been thrown around a bunch, but I'm thinking about doing something in the future, so like I said, let me know if you'd be interested. The next question that I get, I actually didn't think people would be interested in wanting to know, but people have been asking me, and that is, am I dating in nursing school and do I have a social life? So I know all the videos that I've watched in the past, or even advisors from different programs have told me that there is this triangle. You have good grades, social life, and work. You really have to choose two, and just know that you can't have all three. I've seen people succeed doing all three. However, they time manage and are organized so perfectly for them to be able to manage their life that way. I personally would not be able to be that successful at all three. However, I do have a social life. I do like to go out and have fun with friends in my program, and I do like to travel and do things. I feel like sometimes schools and just individuals in general are scaring students into thinking that all you have to do is nursing school, and that is not true. You are allowed to go out. You're allowed to have fun with your friends. I go out to breakfast, brunches, lunches, dinners. I hang out at the forest preserves. I do like to go outside a lot, even in this winter. I promise it is totally possible for you to be able to have all three if you want. Just know that you are going to have to time manage very well. Now, when it comes to dating, I am currently not dating anybody. The next question that I have is, how do you make friends in nursing school, and how do you meet friends online to be able to create study groups? Now, the biggest suggestion that I have that I always tell the students who are in the cohorts below me is try your best to make friends whenever you're on campus. So, for example, my school, we actually have lab still in person if you are a first semester student. So I always give the suggestion of try your best to just mingle, make some friends during lab, and really stick with those people, create study groups with them. If you don't have any type of option to be able to talk to people in person, try your best to reach out to your professors. See if your nursing school can put together like a virtual social event so you guys can meet each other. Try to meet people during orientation. If you're like me and you're on Zoom, you could put in the chat feature, hey, I am reaching out to see if anybody wants to form a study group. If that's not an option, see if there's any other discussion boards or anywhere on your like Blackboard site that you can put your information in so people can reach out to you. It is super important to make sure you try to create and form good relationships during nursing school. You need those people to talk to vent to, who understand exactly what you are going through, because students in nursing school are going through the same thing. But I do just want to put a disclaimer, try your best to find people who mesh with your personality. I think that is super important. The next question that I have is, how do I deal with anxiety and preventing burnout? I do remember I have answered this question in the past in one of my videos. I don't remember which one it was though. Although you guys see me doing school probably 24/7 on YouTube, because my YouTube videos are revolved around nursing school, I promise that is not my everyday life. I definitely give myself breaks. I cannot do school 24/7, or else I would have burnt out at the beginning of nursing school. What I like to do is after class, because I do have class from 8 to 5, I like to take a couple hour break before I even get started with homework. It's not gonna happen right away for me to get started. My brain's already super fried from being in class all day. I do get really tired and just emotionally drained by the time I'm done being on Zoom for 8 hours. There will be some sort of study period and break period. I've realized recently I've been doing 45 minutes studying and then 15-minute breaks. Sometimes I like to do 30 and 30. I try to take advantage of the days where I'm really focused, and I just try my best to keep studying as long as I can. So if I'm feeling like I can do a longer study period, I will go ahead and do that. The whole point of this is I really just listen to my body. If my body is telling me that I need the day off, I will make sure I schedule one day a week where I don't do anything. And I obviously can't predict when that day is going to be, but if I feel like I know I'm not going to be productive, then I will go ahead and just do absolutely nothing except for things that make me happy and are fun to me. So that kind of goes into my next point. Make sure that you have hobbies and things that you love to do outside of nursing school. Make sure you have friends in a support group outside of nursing school. That is so important for you to make sure that you take time away from school. One thing that has really helped me this semester, and I know this is going to sound a little silly, but I did decide to make a vision board because I knew I was starting to hit that kind of senior crash. And after a whole year of working super hard in nursing school, I was starting to feel a little bit unmotivated at the beginning of this semester, which is why I've been holding myself accountable making YouTube videos. I feel like if you find some way to hold yourself accountable, or if you have a vision board that you can visually see every day, you can remind yourself your end goal and what you are working hard towards. Having that goal and vision right on my wall really helps remind me, hey, I'm trying to get into labor and delivery. Hey, I'm trying to get into NICU. Hey, I know I am trying to get a job after I graduate as soon as I can so I can start in the work field sooner rather than later. And those are goals to me that I am really trying to meet. And I know as an L&D nurse and a NICU nurse, those are super hard competitive residencies to get into. So I am trying my best to keep my grades up and keep reminding myself, hey, you kind of have to work hard if this is something you want. And that is why I do sacrifice some of my time to work as hard as I do. But like I said, I do also have a work-life balance where I obviously love to do things outside of school too. Now, I feel like this kind of goes into how do you deal with emotional issues or just emotional chaos in nursing school. It happens. But there are days in nursing school where I might cry. There are days in nursing school where I might get angry. There are days in nursing school where I might go through every emotion on the emotional wheel. Just know that this is completely normal. It is okay to acknowledge that you are feeling a type of way a certain day of the week because of nursing school. I feel like for me, once I acknowledge that I have a feeling, I actually tend to feel better because I've given that feeling a name, and I've been really able to just identify kind of what's going wrong in this situation. And I know overall that might sound a little silly, but it's really just helped me identify my emotions and become a little bit more emotionally intelligent in that sense, because I'm easily able to recognize my emotions and I acknowledge that they are there. Some things that might be super helpful are definitely just like journaling kind of the emotions that you are feeling. And to kind of go back to the last point that I had for the last question, do things that make you happy in nursing school. Take time off. It's super important for you not to have your life revolve around nursing school. Remember, you have a life outside of school. Try your best to find that balance. Make sure that you work hard to be able to keep that balance too. The next question that I have is how to be successful in clinical, and what do you do when you find yourself alone on the unit as a nursing student? So I have made a few videos on clinicals. I am actually gonna do a future video on my newest clinical and kind of what I'm doing. I only have 2 clinicals left before I switch over to my CRT rotation, so that video is gonna be coming super soon, and I will specifically address more in that video. Just make sure that you arrive early, you come prepared, pack your bags and your lunch the night before. I always feel like when I am prepared before clinical and I arrive early, I feel less stressed and I feel more motivated to get my day going. And make sure you eat some kind of breakfast. You want to make sure that you don't get lightheaded on the unit, because I have seen students not feel well because they didn't eat breakfast. And really just try your best to ask questions. If your nurses are comfortable with you doing certain things, just ask them. If you don't ask, I promise these nurses are going to be into a routine and they are going to forget that you were there and not ask you to do things. And most of the time I've had to realize it's not because of me. Don't think that it is because they have a nursing student. It is just because they are so used to their routine and not having to teach anybody that they just forget that you are there and they continue with their routine. So don't forget to ask if you can do things and figure out what you are allowed to do and what you cannot do, so you know that if you are ready and you feel comfortable, just go ahead and ask so you can perform those specific skills. Now switching gears into how do you deal with being alone on the unit. There have been times where I have not been able to find my nurse, my PCT, and certain patients cannot be taken care of without the nurse present. That was definitely a big issue for me, having a background in bioethics. I have seen a few ethical concerns when it comes to me being in the hospital. So really all that you can do in this situation is try your best to perform the skills that you know that you can perform without nursing supervision. So these are more so like your PCT skills or your CNA skills, things like changing bed linens, transferring a patient to the bathroom, doing just hygiene care, possibly position changes, things that don't really require a nurse to sign off on or chart on. I highly recommend to do the best that you can with the limits that are set. There have been times where I had to be creative because the nurse was not there, and you really just have to think on your feet and be able to provide the care that you can. Know that some things are out of your control and that's unfortunately not on you, but if you have concerns where you are being left alone, definitely let your clinical instructor know, and if your clinical instructor is one of them, let somebody in your nursing department know, hey, this is kind of what's going on and I need a little bit more assistance when it comes to clinical. Now, this last question that I have is, how did I feel entering nursing school? And did I have any positive, negative thoughts while I was starting? And do I still have any negative or positive thoughts throughout the program? So I'm gonna be real honest with this answer and tell you, yes, there have been both positive and negative feelings that I have had involving nursing school when I first started. When I first started, I was getting out of a very bad situation, which if y'all wanna hear about my dating life, I will do a whole separate video on that. When I first started nursing school, I was in a bad emotional state. Y'all did not see this because I did not start my YouTube channel until my second semester. Right when the shutdown happened, I figured I had a lot more free time to be able to just document my nursing journey, and that's why I started second semester. Now, everybody has both positive and negative emotions. It is going to happen. When I first started nursing school, I felt very overwhelmed. I felt like, what did I get myself into? I never had the feeling that I wanted to quit though. I've never had that feeling throughout nursing school because I absolutely love nursing and I know that nursing is for me. Kind of going back to everything that I have said before when it comes to staying motivated, really when it comes to making friends, I feel like all of those aspects have really helped keep those negative thoughts kind of at bay and really not in my main focus. I continue to have that positive mindset and be able to kind of not really focus on the negative thoughts. Whenever I do have a negative thought, you know, I feel like most of my negative thoughts are still about me, my personal image. My whole life I've kind of struggled with my weight. So I try to just tell myself, okay, I just had a negative thought, but I'm not going to dwell on it and I'm going to think about more positive things that are going on in my life today, and that normally helps me feel a little bit better. Now, y'all know that I absolutely love to stay positive, so having a positive mindset has become much easier for me, and I just prefer to stay positive over thinking negative thoughts. A lot of the positive thoughts that I have every day is I try to wake up and tell myself that I am beautiful, and I try to just focus around self-love, and I feel like when I am internally happy and I feel like when I love myself more, I tend to actually be more successful in nursing school because then I feel deserving. I feel like I deserve to get the grades that I get. Then I feel motivated to work hard. It's just a positive cycle that continues. And that is all that I have for you in today's video. I really hope you liked the video. If you have more questions that I did not answer in this Q&A, put them down in the comment section and I will do a second Q&A video. I absolutely love this style of video. So if y'all want to watch this content, I have no problem putting out more of these videos. If you did like the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Facebook community. And of course, I always just want to wish you luck on your nursing journey.